Hi, my name is Anders Sechin. I am a senior software engineer at Amazon, and today I am going to show you how to create a Slack chat bot cracking jokes using Amazon Bedrock. First, I'll show you the working demo, and then we'll go through how to make it happen. It is working. Why can't you run through a campground? Well, let's respond. Because it is too crowded. I have no idea what the answer is. How is that the answer? The answer is because it's too crowded. Really? Let's try a different joke. This sounds too easy. And that didn't make really sense, the answer. What concert costs just 45 cents? A free one? Okay. Alright. So, as you can see, it is working. Okay, now let's find out how to build this application. The components of the application will be our Slack user interface, and then the Slack commands that we'll create. That will call API gateway, which will call our Lambda, and that will call our Bedrock, and the response will make it all the way back to Slack. So the first component is the Slack itself. So to create the Slack application, you go to api.slack.com/apps, and then here we create an app, and we'll create it from scratch. We will say the application name is the joke. You will use a personal workspace, any workspace. If you're at work, you can use a workspace that you have the admin privileges, and then we'll do the / command. So you'll just have to decide what command you want. So we'll do tell me a joke. My keyboard is behind my microphone. The request URL, right now we don't have the API gateway URL because we did not create it. So we will do some random URL so we can actually create the endpoint. The description, tell me a joke chatbot, there's no hint. And that's pretty much it. This will be the way how we will invoke this chat. It will say, tell me a joke, and it will return the joke. So let's save this. And as far as our / command, it's ready. So the next phase in our process, API gateway and Lambda, we'll come back to that at the end. First, let's check the Bedrock to make sure we have access to the models that we want. So if you log into your AWS console and choose Bedrock, and you can see that there's no way to proceed. Well, because we're in Ohio region, which is US East 2, and Bedrock is not available in all regions. So I know it's available in US East 1. So if you switch to US East 1 and get started, then you can see the Bedrock interface. So you'll have to request access to the models that you want. And that's done through model access. And if you see that they are all available to request, basically I choose enable all models and request access. So we need to justify to Anthropic that we need this for something. So personal. Okay, well, I guess I don't have a website for myself. This will be a challenge. Well, let's see, personal.com for now. What industry? I mean, whatever industry you're working on, you can say education or IT, software as a service. Well, internal, external use cases, personal projects, and submit. And let's see if you will have access to. Oh, I see that not all the buttons are visible because of my face here, so let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay. Well, we did get access to the Amazon, the Meta models, Mistral. I mean, we can use pretty much any one of these large language models. So I'm not too worried about it. We can come back to this page and see the progress after we create the Lambda. So then let's duplicate this page and let's proceed to how we will create the Lambda and the API gateway. So now let's go to Lambda, our Lambda console, and create our Lambda function. So let's create a new function, and you can use a blueprint to make your life easy. And some of the blueprints, if you scroll down, you will see where was the Slack? Oh, handle Slack / commands, a Python application. So we can say, tell me a joke. Tell me a joke. Now, this model, this sample starts with Python 3.10 runtime. We'll change it once we create the function, so you can go ahead and leave everything the way it is. This is the part that's nice. It will create the API gateway as part of the Lambda creation, which is cool. So you can say create a new API. HTTP API is fine. You can say open additional settings. Yeah, you can leave everything the same. We actually don't even need this environment variable, and create the function. All right, so the function is created. Let's change the runtime to Python 3.12 because the Bedrock, to access Bedrock, the Lambda environment needs to be 3.12. That's how by default the Lambda supports Bedrock access. All right, so this is our template. Right now, I'm going to copy and paste the code that I have to handle the slash commands, and we'll go through the code. Okay, now we have our code that I have ready here, so we're going to copy and paste it, and we're going to deploy this code. We are going to review this code briefly. So at the high level, there's a get joke function to get a joke, and there's also a respond to a joke function because, as we have seen in the demo, the user can respond to the joke, and what this method does is it retrieves the original joke, and Claude or any other LLM, evaluates the user response, and if the user gets the joke, the answer, then it confirms, if not gives a hint. So these are the two main models. There's some helpers to write to the S3 bucket and read from the S3 bucket, and this is our main entry point for our Lambda. It does compare the expected token to make sure the request is coming from the expected Slack API, and then based if there's a response in as part of the command, then that means it's a response to the previous joke. So it does respond with affirmative or with a hint. If there's no text, that means the user is requesting the new joke, so it returns the new joke. One thing we need to also pay attention is the permissions. So the permission role is by default the default Lambda execution role. We need to add two different permissions. One of them is for this Lambda to be able to call Bedrock. So we're not going to worry about fine-tune permissions. We're going to add the entire Bedrock permissions. And the other one is to read and write from S3. So these are two standard policies you can add to your Lambda. And there goes our Lambda. Okay, right here, we don't need to go to API gateway, so the API endpoint is already given here, so we didn't have to go through all that. So the joke, and we had where is the okay, the slash command right here. So here is our request URL and save. Okay, we can essentially test this. We can go to our Slack bot and we can say tell a joke and hit enter. Okay, is it tell joke or tell a joke? What's our, or tell me a joke? So I must have it tell me a joke. And okay, so tell me a joke. So it looks like we need to add our joke to a workspace. Now, where did my joke? Okay, so this is the joke that we have for sure. Tell me a joke. So we need to install this into a workspace. Okay, so let's add this to our workspace. And okay, well, let's see if this will work this time. Tell me a joke. Okay, at least we have some action. So we will see what's happening. So usually when things don't work, what you need to do is you need to go and look at the logs. So our logs are, the best place is to go to the Claude watch and look at the logs that are coming. So if there are logs created, which means our Lambda was invoked. All right. And what did we do with our Lambda? Oh, we did not add the expected token as an environment variable. Right, so where are the environmental variables here? So we need to add the slash this command, the token. Where is the token? Basic information. Okay. Yeah, the verification token. So we can edit a value, an environmental variable. What was the name of our environmental variable? Let's go back to the code right here. Okay. All right, so let's invoke our joke again. All right, let's try again. Oh, the joke responded with empty. So I think I need to work on the code a little bit. Oops, that's not what we want. Okay, so let's go back. So it looks like the request, oh, it couldn't invoke the API. I wonder why. Oh, access denied. Oh, well, this is a good way to troubleshoot, right? We forgot to create the S3 buckets and the S3 file. So let's do that. I think this is a good video to how to troubleshoot and get things organized if you're not organized to start with. So let's create a bucket. It's a general purpose bucket. We just need to pick up the names from the code. So the bucket name will be tell me a joke, although this may, well, let's see, hopefully I didn't choose this. Yeah, we can block public access. Yeah, we don't need. Yep, so I think we can quickly joke one. Let's deploy this while we change the bucket name, because I might have used that bucket name when I was playing around. And then we will upload a file. Is there an easy way to create a file? No. So you may need to upload a blank file. Is the way I have it. Let's see, we can open a terminal maybe. And then we're on the desktop, we can create a file, touch, what was the name of the file? Okay, so there's a blank file on our desktop, so we can have jokes.txt, okay. We can upload this, so it's an empty file. Okay, now let's try it again. Tell me a joke. All right. Ah, it is working. Why can't you run through a campground? Well, let's respond because it is too crowded. I have no idea what the answer is. How is that the answer? The answer is because it's As you can see, one of the challenges for this project is to be able to prompt the Bedrock LLM well. You have to try around a little bit so you can see the actual prompts in the code that I will be sharing on the GitHub as part of this video, so you can see the exact prompts. Until the next video, may you and the people around you have peace and love.